The official and full skill tree spotlight update is out now, everyone, and it is beyond information overload. So then, let us do the logical thing and break down each character individually, yes, starting with our supernatural soul sisters and their Ouija board that is totally not annoying at all. But before the skills start to materialize, do bear in mind Abigail's new command wheel mechanic, as it will become more important later on. For now though, we'll talk how to come across more ghosty goos faster than ever before with Pipspook quests. The first level of the perk can make Pipspook toys hilariously close to one another, whereas Quest 2 is going to give you 1 to 2 more toys per stroll overall, leading to a potential 4 to 6 toys over 3 to 5. But for things to truly jive, we all need Pipspook Quest 3 to not only see 2 morning glories per 1 toy moving forward, but also a huge chunk of 6 glory goos at the end of every Pipspook quest we undertake. So help the neighborhood dead today, especially when we have a brand new way to transport it all through the picnic casket here that will cost twigs, silk, and boards for the opportunity to hold 9 elixirs or stacks of morning glories of your choice while on the go. And that's good, as morning glories aren't the only Wendy crap. Getting more numerous, as ghastly experience here is going to start taking up some space too. It will set you back some forget-me-lots, however it will always set our sister to level 3 immediately whenever we please, so there we go. To continue though, Strong Brew is going to do the exact same thing for all elixirs except Spectral Cure-All Mind, and that's turn their 1-day timers into 2, but only for Abigail Mind. And we'll get to that. For now, we need to debate if we want to get more elixirs for our mixtures, as extra yield there offers us a 40% chance to craft 2 potions at the price of 1, and an additional 10% roll to potentially net 3 instead. Brew. And come to the conclusion on just how poo-poo some of her skills are around here, like Blessed Cistern 1 that will up the spoilage timers of petals and loom blossoms within cisterns by a whopping 50% if you care, or how Blessed Cistern 2 is quite noticeable in its quest to turn down the effects of negative sanity auras by another 25%, while also extending it to players nearby, which is indicated through this ghastly gas that falls upon our victims, I mean friends, but it's truly only Blessed Cistern 3 that matters most when you consider how 4 loom blossoms within a cistern is all that is needed to make Abigail go from taking mob damage, a mechanic that sees her absorbing 150 damage a hit in the footage before you now, to a scenario that has her living life to the fullest through only taking player damage each hit, upping her survivability like crazy of course, but do bear in mind that it will come at the cost of having the healing of both elixirs. However, you'll probably only notice it with Spectral Cure-All, as you can see. But if you're hoping to see something groundbreaking, you ain't gonna get it with Morning Glory 1, even if the ability to revive butterflies and or moon moths can be beneficial overall. Although 4 Morning Glories for the latter is quite expensive at the end of the day, but I digress. Morning Glory 2 is where the true fun begins, as the race, crafted via but 6 glories, will last for 10 days, offer some sanity regeneration, turn ghosts neutral to all other characters who wear one, but ultimately allows for Wendy to drink her own elixirs at the cost of lesser effects per potion. Take for example how Spectral Cure-All will once again heal Wendy for less than usual, as we see 5 health per second for 20 seconds over its default 20 for 30. Even still, some of the effects are quite unique to Wendy alone too, like how Nightshade Nostrum will give her night vision for 6 minutes, how Ghastly Experience will remove 25% of a maximum health penalty per slurp, while also restoring 12.5 hunger and 5 sanity each, how Unyielding Drought and Distilled Vengeance will offer Wendy a shield that will last for 2 minutes, cool down between blocks for 10 seconds, and reflect 20 damage per block in the case of Distilled Vengeance of course, and finally, how Vigor Mortis will reduce up to 25% of an item's slowdown for a full day while never slowing us down on webbing or honey trails. Yes, it's a thing. Zoom, or just die anyways, as the Perennial altar here, crafted via Morning Glories, Cutstone, and Health, will offer anyone, yes, anyone who attunes to it, a chance to return to the world of the living. It's just that simple. Enjoy. Or perhaps extend your stay in the afterlife after all, as Vengeful Ghost there allows for anyone near to Wendy, and of course Wendy herself, to become a temporary ghost that can actually deal damage like Abigail for 15 seconds, be it to a single target or many. And the funny bits, it's not only time dependent like Abigail, but damage multipliers like Wickfred's or Wolfgang's will actually apply to their specific ghosts. It's pretty neat, as are the ideas behind grave beautification here, even if I'm not fully sold as of yet. Wendy can now decorate any gravestone with petals, and this will spawn a big spook come 3 to 4 petals in total. Now big spooks are infinite overall, but do cap at 4 at a time, while very much being able to attack stuff, even things we hit nearby ourselves. And while I see the potential there, the rest of the skill looks to spawn evil flowers at decorated graves every 3-ish days, while also giving Wendy the ability to pick evil flowers with no adverse effects. In fact, she actually gains 5 sanity from them now. But what else can she gain from messing with the dead, you ask? Well, how about both a way to completely relocate them, plus a way to create entirely new resting places? Spirit vessels cost ash and a broken shell in order to take part in the former, whenever and wherever you please, while the latter will set you back a mere cut stone in order to plop down an even heavier stone on top of any skeleton of any choice for a whole new addition to the graveyard that is the constant. So team up and die today. Or show some spirits with that command wheel I mentioned earlier. Level 1 will grant Abigail an ability to flee combat without question in the moments where she's in over her head. Level 2 lets her quote-unquote dash in the battle before she actually starts to battle at all for a little extra damage. And lastly, level 3 not only allows for her to scare mobs for roughly 6 seconds, but can lead to a sneakily huge mechanic and letting us choose what she haunts. But to wrap this all up in goo comes what Abigail's affinities can do for you. Lunar and Shadow Sisterhood will begin the same, with 15 planar defense added to Abigail to help her survivability in the Rift content, of course. But both Sisterhood 2s are where things fracture. Lunar's side will introduce Luminous Wrath that is classified as a super elixir, meaning they can be used in tandem with others. But it will also grant our sister 10 planar damage for 2 minutes at a time, which is essentially just 10 extra damage per hit against anything non-planar itself. But the shadow side gives us Curse Vexation that will last for a full day and help increase Wendy's damage against vexed hostiles, but only by 10 maximum due to the extra planar mechanic applied. But the creme de la creme, Lunar Sisterhood 3 can turn Abby into a Gestalt variant of herself during waxing/full moons that by default can have her dealing upwards of 250 damage to a single target that isn't shadow aligned, sees her avoiding damage as best she can, allows her to be reverted back to normal come waning/new moons at a moon dial mind, but also gets a major boost via Luminous Wrath that will skyrocket her planar damage to 100 overall. So if you bring all that together against a shadow enemy, expect nearly 400 damage a hit. But as for her shadow counterpart, it ain't as cool, even if she can boast a pretty solid 20 planar defense and 25 planar damage towards multiple hostiles for a short amount of time. A time that increases by 8 seconds every time we murder something within our inventories. It's okay, but I mean, it's not Gestalt Abigail. But there you have it, everyone. A full individual breakdown of the new and very much improved Wendy skill tree update as it stands now. Thanks for watching, folks. Well wishes to all. More ethereal material to come. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.